So he activated his Twitter, and he decided to join Twitter Spaces, and he had a discussion.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop. The hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever this public puts out there. Now that before it was the American dream. Pull yourself out of bootstraps, and you can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like capitalist and things like that. I mean, we've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, doesn't include us. We said, fine. We went our alternate route. We created this music. We did our thing. We hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And, now it's like, eat the rich and think, man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is, from us, we came from selling 7 records and selling records out our trunk and, no radio play. And I think Reasonable Doubt did 36,000 the first week or something like that. I may be adding a little to it. So I come from Marcy Projects. My first house, 615 Lexington Avenue. My grandmother's house, 7 families lived. Like, she has 7 kids. My mother and my parents and siblings lived in that house. My aunt Niecy lived in that house. Hootie lived in that house. Butchie lived in the basement. I mean, this is one house. I went back to that house. I did an interview with Oprah, and I couldn't believe how small this house was. That all of us lived in that house. So, again, that evolution that you speak of, it's just real, and it's happening in real time, and I'm talking about it. And, we're not going to stop, and we're not going to stop talking about it. You're not going to trick us out of it and make us feel ashamed to be successful in a place that, set up a system for us to be dead at 21.
It sounded like he had a problem with him being a billionaire and being called.
Nobody made a billion till Hov did. How many billionaires came from Hov crib? I count 3.
You gonna rap the whole bar, or are you?
Me, Ye, and Ree.
And he has a problem, apparently, being called a capitalist.
Bron's a rock boy, so 4 technically.
How do you feel about that word capitalist?
I believe I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. I think capitalism right now in today's world, we could say socialism. Like, ideally, socialism would be the best approach.
How so?
It's like a referee.
Okay.
Like, you have part of the government. I mean, part of the economy run by the government. Part of the economy run by private people. Mm-hmm. So I think there's like, how like it's like Fortnite. Everybody gets the same things. Now, if you want extra,
you gotta buy the
extra. Yeah, but everybody gets something. Versus like what we live in today, where it's like there's people that have nothing.
Yeah.
So I think there should be like some base where if you don't do anything in life, at least you'll be able to live in a house, eat food, go on. But you might not be able to party in a yacht.
And not be on Skid Row or anything like that.
Yeah. Except I don't know how realistic that is, just because too many selfish people. We don't have the systems in place to really do it well without biases and corruption and all that. So the next best thing is capitalism.
Yeah. And to Hov's point, to Jay-Z's point, he said that they basically came up with these terms and these titles to put on you when you become basically a successful black man and things like that.
I don't know if you said that, but
I'm just paraphrasing. I play the clip. I let him talk himself into it. You know what I mean? But he basically said they gotta come up with better words.
They gotta come up with better words. It can't be. These words don't mean nothing to me.
But
it's been called niggas and monkeys.
Exactly. So capitalist.
What's that?
But apparently, like if you read between the lines, he's like, that's supposed to be meant as an insult to me.
Yeah.
But like I've been called monkey, I've been called nigger, and things like that.
And you're not gonna trick me out of my position.
Exactly.
You're not calling me those words.
But obviously, it seemed like a hot button for him because he even talked about, they talk about eat the rich and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And since he came up or gave this discussion on Twitter Spaces and things like that, Twitter responded. Some of them said, Jay-Z, you're not a messiah. You're Hov, yes, you're the god of rap, but you're not like our messiah.
Yeah.
Like you're a billionaire. No one becomes quote unquote a holy billionaire. Like your hands is not clean in being a billionaire. You didn't the same hands you used to be a billionaire, you didn't.
You was cooking the stove.
Not just the stove. Forgive the stove. Forgive me for what the stove did. But I'm just saying, like, to be a billionaire, you had to take from somebody. So you can't make it seem like you're the messiah. You're for the people, that you give for the people, that you are for the people and by the people, but you're a billionaire. You're a capitalist just by being a billionaire alone. So I want to broaden it out to see what is your opinion on, is it possible to be for the people, by the people, FUBU, right? And be a capitalist or be a billionaire? Or do you have to your, I think you said this episodes way back, do you have to be as extreme as Fred Hampton? You know what I mean? These men wasn't rich, or these people wasn't rich. Do you have to be Malcolm X? Do you have to be Martin Luther King? To where you help the people, but at the same time you're suffering too. So that's where I want to start the discussion before I take it other routes that I deem fit based on the discussion. Can you be a billionaire and not be a capitalist?
I think so.
How so?
It depends on what you're trying to do with that, or what you're doing with that billion, right?
Okay.
Like there's certain types of people who are they obtain this money and then they try to do as much as they can for certain communities. Now the problem is, how often are those people the ones that become billionaires? But I think it's possible. It goes back to your saying. Is it impossible? Well, a lot of times it's hard.